finish your
Go word.
Hey, welcome to Decaf, a podcast by the Beacon Center of Tennessee. Taylor and Mark here, coming at you from Memphis.
These are heavy, by the way. This is the first time I held them. I feel like I'm
really
working
heavy.
out.
Well, they were going to fall through the holes on this table if we set them on the table, so this is probably for the best.
I'm going to be jacked by next week with holding this the whole time.
I wouldn't count
Well,
on
a
it.
little bit more than this,
Well,
which
maybe.
is I'm starting at a very low point.
Low bar.
Low in everything.
In everything. So we got a lot to talk about, a lot of good stuff to talk about. So let's just dive right in. Here we go. So we are at Lo-Fi Coffee in Memphis. It is in a shared space with a hair salon up top, a little boutique store down here. And
I thought they owned the boutique store. That's not.
Oh, they might.
I just assumed it was one shop. I didn't. Okay.
This place, we are obsessed. If you are ever in Memphis, come to Lo-Fi Coffee. First of all, their branding is like a 80s, almost like Saved by the Bell punk rock kind of like really cool branding.
It is. You're right. It texts like Saved by the Bell.
Right.
It's not as good as Saved by the Bell because nothing's as good as Saved by the Bell.
Nothing is as good, but this is like a very close second. And we got to talking to the owner, David. He and his wife own this place. They were in L.A. He said that they got pushed out of L.A. just because of outrageous costs. They drove through Memphis. They loved it here.
They fell in love with
decided
the
to
character of the city.
Yeah, they decided to open the coffee shop here because the market was just, it needed a coffee shop, which I agree. This coffee is amazing. It's Sump coffee, the Honduras roasted. It's like amazing.
And one of the things, I just talked to him, so I got the coffee for us, and he doesn't take tips here either.
Which is amazing.
Like, he will not allow you to tip.
Tell him why. Like, I just think it's so cool.
Yeah, so when I was asking him, I said, oh, can I tip you? He said, oh, no, we don't take tips here. And one of the reasons, like, I feel like a lot of business owners underpay their employees, and they make them rely on tips. And it's kind of another example of him saying, you know what? This is not something the government can fix, but as a business owner, I can fix this myself. And I don't want to take tips. I don't want to put somebody's livelihood on the idea that this person may or may not be a good tipper.
Well, and speaking of David doing something better than the government.
Everything.
Everything. He was telling us that he's a totally sustainable coffee shop, and everything that they do is compostable. Everything they do is recyclable. They have no trash at all, period. And we were talking about, and Mark said something about straws. They have got these straws that are, I guess, technically the texture of plastic, but they're completely compostable. They're made of like corn something or other.
I misspelled coffee on you, by the way.
Yeah, that would be a disaster. They're made of corn something or other. You can't put them in a drink that's hotter than 100 degrees, but other than that, they function just like normal straws. So if you're drinking
they're like those terrible paper straws, which I want to literally light on fire.
Yes.
They're terrible.
Yes, they're terrible. And he said that they cost less than paper straws. They are better for the environment than paper straws. They're made completely out of plant materials, and every single thing in this shop is recyclable.
And the reason that's interesting is because he said that the government has banned those type of straws in other places.
Like in California.
In California, because like, they still have some very small little piece of plastic in it. So like, it's another example of the government trying to help and it not working because they actually they don't understand the market. They don't get what happened. Now there's these terrible products. And it's somebody who, truthfully, not really, the environment is fine. I'm not as into the environment.
Recycler.
She's more, I've never recycled.
I'm a composter.
Yeah, she's a composter. So like,
but
either
hippie,
way,
whatever.
it's cool because like, this is somebody who believes in something, and they say, you know what, I'm going to fix this. I'm not going to have the government do this for me. As a business owner, I'm going to run my business this way. And that's what we need more of. We need people who are business owners to do this type of thing they believe in, and stop trying to push the government to force other people to do that.
He's just setting an amazing example. I feel like we oftentimes make an example of Memphis for doing bad things, and this guy's setting an amazing
I'll tell you what, he's right across from all these things, bad things though, of all these corporate welfare deals. But yes, this is great. Lo-Fi coffee.
Stop now.
Yes.
Okay, so next topic that we want to talk about. I don't know if you've heard, but Bernie Sanders has a bit of a health scare. This, to me, so last week, if you listened last week, we talked about Greta Thunberg and how people were really giving her a hard time because she's a kid and she has these really, almost to me, radical views on climate type things, but people were criticizing her personally as a child. Now we're seeing it again, week 2, people who disagree with Bernie Sanders' policies almost excited that the man is sick. Like, come on, okay.
And this was like Scalia. Remember when Scalia passed too? And people on the left were like celebrating, like, what is wrong with you people?
This man died. People have families. These are humans. Obviously, Mark and I care a lot about politics. We work in it. We devoted our lives to it. But I don't like anything enough to be excited when someone's health, when humanity is the question, when it's up against humanity.
I think like maybe some like dictators, like when Castro died, I wasn't upset. I will tell you that.
Sure, okay, but
anybody who's not killing people.
Okay, radical examples aside.
Yeah.
I don't care about anything enough to be excited when someone is sick or hurt or their reputation is trashed in the name of policy or politics or
yeah.
anything like that. There's nothing I care about that much.
And this is another example where I think that maybe both sides of the political spectrum, at least the far ends of it, are just inconsistent, because they will call out the other person when they do that, but then they're the first one to do it when Scalia dies. They'll say, "Oh, we're so glad that he died. Praise the Lord. Oh, because he's bad for society." It's like, you people are terrible. Like, nobody should be celebrating Bernie Sanders having a serious heart condition, which is what it was, right? A heart condition.
Yes, he's in the freaking hospital.
He's likely going to have to drop out of the presidential race.
He had to get 2 stents this morning, so like that's really sad. My grandfather had stents. It's a hard thing to come back from. He's 78 years old. This is sad. Okay, everyone needs to quit being ugly and acknowledge that it's sad. And
this is like a place where, like, look, of course we're not going to agree on politics, and we are going to be very strongly against people that we disagree with, and that's just kind of human nature. But there is a way. We keep talking about how do we get America back to a place where we can have a conversation. This is not the way by criticizing somebody else when they're going through something terrible in their life.
Well, you made a really good point earlier about people saying it actually was good, and if I'm saying it's good, it was good. About people saying like, oh, well, under Bernie's healthcare plan, he never would have gotten this care. Let's just not talk about that for a second, because it's just like when people criticize the gun rights and stuff like that after a shooting, like poor timing.
Yeah.
Can we have some tact here?
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, I'll tell you, one of the things that frustrates me the most is if there's a shooting or a mass shooting, and the first thing that people go to is, this is why we need gun control. It's like, let's mourn these people's family. Whether gun control likely wouldn't have stopped it anyway, but even if it would have, this is not the time. And I get you want to. What was the Rahm Emanuel quote? He said, "Never let a disaster go to waste," or something. There was something like that, and that's what they're doing. That's what the people on the right are doing today too. Like, let's not do that. Let's be good people.
Let's just be good people. I like ending on "Let's just be good people."
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a very positive show so far.
This is a really positive show.
Uplifting.
We have another exciting thing to talk about, which is baseball. Go Braves.
Baseball is not exciting. Nobody thinks it's exciting.
I think baseball is
If you want to spend 3.5 hours to watch just garbage, then watch baseball. The World Series I'll watch.
Okay, well, I like baseball. Yeah. And
also, Suzanne. Shout out to Suzanne. The Nationals won they won their first game, so they're going to be playing. They're playing the Dodgers now in the playoffs.
Killing it. Okay, so Mark actually told me, and I was not aware about MLB team coming to Nashville. You take it from here. I don't really know what this is.
So I guess the idea is that there's a group of investors, including Alberto Gonzalez is one of them, and they want to bring a professional baseball team to Memphis. So obviously you can assume that our concern is because almost every team gets a ton of tax dollars from. Without us actually agreeing to it. That's a concern. Anytime you talk about bringing a team to your city, you're like, oh, God, how much is it going to cost us? But there's a Tennessee article where they specifically said, we will not take any government money to build this.
Hold them to it.
For the team, we will definitely hold them to it. But for the team, for the stadium, we will not take any government money. I think they talked about some kind of land. They wanted some land, but if they're not going to take any government money, I feel so good about that, and we should welcome them with open arms. I
love the Braves, and I've been a Braves fan my whole life. I'm very loyal to them. But I would become a Nashville, whatever the team fan.
I think they're going to be Nashville. They said the name of it. I forget.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I suggested Nashville Jazz, but nobody said it.
Yeah, ain't nobody going to pick up on that. Nope. I would become a fan if they were not taking my tax dollars. Because let's be real.
Just for the moral purpose of it.
Yes, I'm going to go to enough games, buy enough beer, buy enough Dippin' Dots, buy enough corn dogs that I'm going to give them plenty of my money.
Yeah. Remember when Dippin' Dots were like the ice cream of the future 30 years ago? It's never caught on. It's literally just at the baseball stadium and maybe Carnival. I think Carnival sometime.
Yeah. Well,
so they are not. If they tell you they're the ice cream of the future, they are not. Don't listen to them. They are liars.
All I'm saying is I'm going to spend so much money at this baseball stadium anyway that if they don't take my tax dollars, I will be there all the time because I can support that. That's a team I can get behind.
And it sets a great precedent for the city of Nashville too, where you have the tight ends and Predators getting some of the best deals in all professional sports. You have our minor league baseball team getting money.
Soccer team that apparently exists that I don't even want to talk about.
Do they even exist? I have made a point to not follow anything about them because I hate soccer. It's an awful sport, and I hate giving a lot of money to them when billionaires can build the stadium themselves. And here's an example of billionaires and millionaires saying, you know what, we will build the stadium ourselves. We don't need government money to do this. We want to do this because we think it's profitable.
Let's go.
Not because taxpayers
Mark is
pay
yelling
for it.
in a coffee shop.
Yeah.
And you can tell he's strong about it. I'm really uncomfortable, but he's yelling in a coffee shop.
There's literally people behind us just listening to me just going around. They probably hate us.
All I'm saying is he's got a really good point here.
God, that's 2 in a row. I had 2 good points today.
Am I sick?
I think. Well, you actually are sick
yeah,
though.
Actually, I'm sick. Maybe the Sudafed is clouding my brain. But this is a really good start, and it's a really good precedent, and we're going to hold them to it, and we hope that they stick to it without us having to like put them in a pork report or trash them at all.
That's right. God, what a positive endings. 3 positive endings in a row.
We are killing it. Okay, and this is my most exciting topic to talk about right now. So Stranger Things 4 was announced on social media.
By the way, Stranger Things sucks. Stranger Things is a terrible show.
If you like Stranger Things, you're in a safe place with me, and you're not in a safe place with Mark. I love Stranger Things. I wanted to dress up like Robin from Scoops Ahoy, which you wouldn't know what this is about. I love Stranger Things. Stranger Things 4 was just announced on social media. People are freaking out.
So that means they're doing a new season of it, right? Okay.
Yes.
I didn't know there was like a 4th movie. I don't even know how it works.
No, it's a show. So we were talking about it. We were talking about shows that we're really excited about. Man in the High Castle. I don't know. It's an Amazon Prime show.
I've heard about it. Yeah, that's the one that's like
the Nazis had won World War II.
So you were excited about the new season of that?
Yes, it's the last season.
Okay.
Season, I think 4, it'll be the last one.
When does it come out?
November 20-something, I think.
Oh, maybe my birthday. I'm 21st.
Yes,
it's my birthday.
Exactly. So it'll be around then. I will not sleep until the season is over. I don't know if there are any shows that you're like that about, but like I'm pumped.
I feel like you agree with me on this. Do you remember when House of Cards was a huge deal?
Yeah, I remember
like when
I was
season 2
interning in Washington, D.C. when it came out, and I just binged it. I did not sleep.
Yeah, I lived in D.C. I was working in D.C., and I remember, I think it was either the 2nd or 3rd season. It came out at like midnight. I'm like, I'm going to watch 8 hours straight.
I literally
took off the next day.
Over.
I said, I'm going to take a vacation day. And I planned it a few days ahead of time because I knew it was coming out.
Yes.
And God, that show, now it got worse as time went on, but that show was incredible. And I really liked The Ranch, which is the Ashton Kutcher show on there.
Ranch.
But the funniest character, I guess, had sexual assault things.
And he got
Rooster.
Yeah.
So like it has become less funny, although I'm sure they made the right decision. It's become a lot.
They definitely made the right decision, but it's not as funny anymore.
Yeah,
it's just not.
And
it's
like
not.
he was, but like when that season 3 and 4, I was so excited.
It was so good. I think this is like really cool because it's something new for our generation. Like you'll never hear of our parents' generation. Like my mom, you know, when they were our age watching shows, it was like you watch it every Friday night, and that's what you do. For us,
I think my parents listened on the radio. I don't even know if they had TV then. Maybe they don't. Maybe they had like the vinyl. I don't even know. Yeah. I'm just making fun of my parents for being old. Like I'm trying to figure it out.
I don't like it. I support you, Cunningham.
I can't even figure out a good way to do it. So screw me.
Anyway, this is like a new thing for our generation to have like these shows that we just all get together. I mean, we've already planned a Man in the High Castle kind of like watch party. We're all going to stay up all night and eat snacks and drink wine and watch Man in the High Castle. Like it's something that's kind of new for our generation that we do. I like it.
So and the thing is, like, I watched all the Always Sunny in Philadelphia episodes.
So funny.
I thought it was pretty. I'm surprised you like it. It seems
it's really inappropriate.
Seems too inappropriate for you. Yeah,
I think it's really funny.
You're way classier than I am.
It's the first time I've admitted that I watched the show.
So, but basically, I watched all 14 seasons or 13 seasons in like I don't know about 3 weeks. I had nothing to do. But then the 14th season just debuted on Thursday night.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, my friend's like, oh, you should watch. I'm like, I can't watch one episode now. I need to wait till it's done and watch the whole season because like you get used to this idea of like watching an entire season. Like I can't watch one episode. Like it's not a show I can watch one episode of.
I feel the exact same way. I've been doing some things recently. Oh, The Politician on Netflix. Again, really corrupt show. But it's one of those that I started watching it and one of my friends said, "Oh, have you started The Politician?" I'm on episode 1. I was like, "I'm on episode 8." Like I've just gotten in this place of like I'll go to bed early to stay up until midnight and watch these shows.
That's right.
And that's me with an embarrassing conversation. Something embarrassing.
Use of words, it sounds like being able
to
pronounce things correctly.
Okay, you're the one that couldn't talk earlier.
I can never
talk. Giving
talk.
me a hard time. We've been in the car since 6:45 this morning.
6:45 a.m. to get to Memphis.
Me a hard time.
Yes, but it was a nice drive.
It was a nice drive.
And also, by the way, check out the Beacon shirt.
Reppin' hard.
I think we want to get more of these for supporters of the show. So if you like this, let us know. Maybe we'll send you one.
Because I am lobbying hard for some swag. But we'll send you one. Shoot me an email.
I think we have like eight left. So if you want one of the last 8, and if you really like it, we have more supplies, then maybe we'll get Justin to fund more of it for us.
Yes, so. I'm all about swag. But thanks so much for listening. Subscribe to the podcast. Tell your friends. And we'll see you next week.
And get a lo-fi coffee when you're in Memphis.
And go to lo-fi. Cheers.
Okay. Cheers with you.